Will Iron Maiden show up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if they ever get inducted? My name is Sean Morrison. It's definitely a good question out there since the band really isn't a fan of it. You hear Bruce Dickinson has said a lot of bad comments about the Hall of Fame, calling it a farce. Some agree with him, of course. But with all the bad talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if they eventually do get inducted, will he eventually show up? Well, I need a band member to show up. Honestly, at this point, you might get Dennis Stratton, who played on like one album or two, and of course Paul Di'Anno, who was on the first two Iron Maiden albums. Unfortunately, had his drug problems, got his release from the band. They'd probably be the only two that would show up. Maybe somebody from the estate of the Cliff Burr family, the way this current lineup of Iron Maiden has attitudes towards the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Maybe Steve Harris might show up, but Blaze Bayley does belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not sure why he's not included. If Janet Gers was, but that was in a previous video. If you're not subscribed to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel, please click on subscribe. Everyone out there that's been subscribed, I thank very much for your continued honor, love, and support of the Sean Morrison YouTube channel. So, friends, will Iron Maiden show up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if they do get inducted? If the whole band does not show up, which members do you think will show up? Mr. Morrison is going with Dennis Stratton as well as Paul Di'Anno. Who knows? Maybe Blaze Bayley might show up out of respect for the band name. You never know in the rock and roll world. But honestly, Bruce Dickinson's arrogant comments makes it sound like he won't show up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Just pointing the facts out there. Shame, shame, shame.